A royal wedding to unite empires ended in slaughter. That wedding was King Hayam Wuruk's plan to bind the archipelago together. Prime Minister Gajah stood rigid at the forefront of the procession. His eyes scanned the Sundanese delegation with cold, calculating precision. He remembered the ancient oaths sworn to protect Majapahit's supremacy. He would not allow any challenge to the empire's honor today. The power dynamic was absolute, and he intended to enforce it. The Sundanese king looked down from his palanquin with steely resolve. He was not a vassal, but an equal partner in this union. Drawing the carries was a choice born of immense cultural pride. To bow down would be an insult to his ancestors and people. His hand trembled slightly, but his grip on the hilt tightened. Words were exchanged, but the meaning was lost in translation and pride. Majapahit interpreters claimed the Sundanese demanded total submission as a condition. The Sundanese delegation argued they only sought a ceremonial alliance. Neither side was willing to yield an inch of face. The diplomatic window slammed shut, leaving only violence as an option. The straits are sealed. One fleet, one law, the archipelago breathes as one. 1511. Albuquerque's carracks round the Cape. They expect a fractured port. They find iron. Not a single merchant junk in sight. Instead, a modernized First Fleet, cannons gleaming. Albuquerque orders the attack. A fatal mistake. The straits erupt in fire and steel. The Jong ships outmaneuver the carracks. Ottoman and Venetian tech, turned against Europe. The survivors limp away. Malacca remains Majapahit. The eastern gateway is closed. Defeated, they sail east. Macau and Japan become their new prizes. The spice trade stays home. Spain hears the news. The East is too strong. They turn entirely to the Americas. Without the East, the age of discovery shrinks. Europe's golden age, now just silver. The Dutch arrive in the 1600s, not as conquerors, as merchants, begging for a lease. No Batavia, no colonial capital, just a leased trading post, on Majapahit terms. Spice, tin, oil, rubber. The revenues fund a Meiji-style modernization. Javanese engineers build. We upload videos like this every day. Subscribe so you don't miss out. Television. By the 1800s, Majapahit builds its own dreadnoughts. The Indian Ocean becomes a Majapahit lake. 1914, Nusantara enters the Great War as an ally. The British must treat the Maharaja as an emperor. A new ideology rises. SWA Bawana, self-reliant universe. Hindu, Islamic, and Western science fused. The year 1600 marks a turning point. Dutch ships arrive not as conquerors, but as merchants seeking trade. The VOC delegation approaches the Majapahit court with gifts, not weapons. The era of European dominance has been preempted. The balance of power in the East remains indigenous. Batavia never becomes a colonial capital. Instead, it remains a leased trading post under Majapahit sovereignty. Dutch administrators must follow local laws and customs. The fortifications are modest, not imposing. European architecture blends harmoniously with tropical surroundings. Majapahit maintains complete control of spice trade. Nutmeg, cloves, and pepper revenues flow directly to the imperial treasury. Tin from Bangka and rubber from Sumatra fuel economic growth. Oil reserves in Borneo become the foundation of future industrial might. The 19th century witnesses a Meiji-style transformation. Javanese engineers study European industrial models, but adaptation happens on indigenous terms. Technology transfer occurs through equal partnerships, not colonial extraction. The future belongs to those who control their own resources. Railroads connect Java's major cities. Javanese engineers design the routes, adapting to tropical conditions. Local materials are used whenever possible. The railway network becomes a symbol of indigenous achievement. Progress continues without foreign domination. The telegraph system connects the entire archipelago. Communication centers are established in major ports. Messages travel across thousands of miles in minutes. The network becomes the backbone of imperial administration. Information flows freely within the Federation. The Majapahit Navy undergoes dramatic transformation. Indigenous shipyards construct modern warships. Dutch and British naval engineers provide technical expertise. The fleet grows into a regional powerhouse. Control of the seas remains firmly in local hands. By 1914, Nusantara stands as a great power. The Federation commands respect in international affairs. Diplomatic missions establish embassies across Europe and America. The Maharaja's court receives foreign dignitaries as equals. The world acknowledges the archipelago's significance. World War I begins in Europe. Nusantara enters the conflict as a willing ally. The Federation joins the Allied powers with enthusiasm. Naval assets secure vital Indian Ocean lanes. The Maharaja declares his support for the Allied cause with full confidence. Majapahit fleets dominate critical sea lanes. The British Navy acknowledges their superior positioning. Supply routes remain secure throughout the conflict. The Federation's contribution proves invaluable. The Indian Ocean becomes a theater of Nusantara naval power. The British Crown must reevaluate their relationship. Colonial hierarchy transforms into diplomatic parity. The Maharaja receives recognition as an equal sovereign. Traditional colonial protocols become obsolete. The power dynamic shifts permanently in the Indian Ocean region. The Nusantara Enlightenment begins to flourish. Traditional Hindu-Buddhist philosophy merges with Islamic jurisprudence. Western scientific knowledge integrates with indigenous wisdom. The result becomes a unique intellectual tradition. Cultural boundaries dissolve into something new. The SWA Bawana ideology emerges as state philosophy. Self-reliance becomes the guiding principle. Indigenous knowledge systems receive renewed respect. External influences are carefully filtered and adapted. The Federation finds its own path to modernity. The self-reliant universe philosophy guides national development. Traditional wisdom meets modern governance. Cultural identity strengthens through selective adaptation. The Federation charts its unique course. 3 centuries of unbroken sovereignty have forged a new paradigm. The year is 2024. A colossal rocket, its body gleaming under the Papua sun, stands poised atop a launch pad carved into the jungle. The red and white banner of the Majapahit Federation snaps in the tropical breeze. A silent declaration of a world rewritten. This is not a dream. It is the legacy of Jepit, realized. Below the banner, engineers in crisp white uniforms adjust final systems on the rocket. Their faces a mix of pride and quiet determination. Their hands, though modern, carry the weight of centuries. Centuries where a single moment at Jepit altered the fate of empires. This mission is their tribute to that moment. The rocket's engines roar to life. A sound that echoes through the valleys and across the archipelago. This is not just a launch, it is a statement. The Majapahit Federation stands as the unbroken successor to the greatest empire of the Indo-Pacific. Its borders now stretching from the Philippines to Timor, unchallenged and uncolonized. The world outside this launch pad is unrecognizable to those who study history. No fractured nations. No colonial borders carved by foreign hands. Instead, a single federation, Majapahit, dominates the map, its influence stretching from the South China Sea to the Coral Triangle. This is the world that was always meant to be. In the heart of Jayakarta, the capital city, a grand hall echoes with the voices of diplomats from across the globe. They are not here as supplicants, but as equals. The Majapahit Federation has reshaped the global order, and its voice is now the voice of the global South, a counterbalance to the old powers. The Majapahit Navy, a force to be reckoned with, patrols the South China Sea. Their ships, sleek and modern, enforce the Federation's internal administrative boundaries with authority. The so-called 9-line is no longer a point of contention. It is a line drawn by their own hands, respected by all. The United Nations headquarters in New York now shares the stage with a new global institution, the Non-Aligned Movement 2.0, headquartered in Jakarta. Here, the Majapahit Federation brokers peace between the global North and South, ensuring that no conflict escalates into a global catastrophe. The Majapahit Federation's technological prowess is on full display. From advanced rail networks connecting every corner of the archipelago to state-of-the-art telecommunications, the Federation has modernized without losing its cultural identity. This is the essence of SWA, a self-reliant universe where tradition and innovation coexist. The Majapahit Federation's nuclear arsenal is a deterrent that has ensured peace for generations. No foreign power dares challenge them, knowing full well the consequences. This is the power of a nation that was born from a single, fateful decision at Jepit, a decision that changed everything. The South China Sea is no longer a flashpoint of tension. Instead, it is a bustling trade route, patrolled by Majapahit naval vessels that ensure safe passage for all. The Federation's Blue Water Navy has checkmated both the United States and China, demonstrating that diplomacy and strength can coexist. In the halls of power, the Majapahit Maharaja sits on a throne adorned with gold and precious stones. His gaze steady and unwavering, he is not just a ruler. He is the embodiment of a nation that has defied history, reshaping the world in its own image. His decisions echo through the centuries, a testament to the power of unity and vision. The Majapahit Federation's cultural renaissance is evident in every aspect of life, from the fusion of Hindu-Buddhist philosophy with Islamic jurisprudence to the integration of Western science. The Federation has created a unique state ideology known as SWA. This ideology is the cornerstone of their society, a self-reliant universe where knowledge and tradition thrive together. The Majapahit Federation's influence extends beyond the Earth. Their Mars mission launchpad in Papua is a symbol of their ambition and capability. This is not just a mission to another planet. It is a declaration that the Federation is a spacefaring nation, ready to explore the cosmos and leave its mark on the universe. The red and white banner planted on Olympus Mons is a silent testament to the power of a single moment at Jepit. It is a reminder that history is not written by the victors of today, but by the visionaries of yesterday. This is the world that was always meant to be. Welcome. Before we begin, hit subscribe so you don't miss our daily updates. Bell last chance. Subscribe now before we launch our new series. Unlocked.